Look, here's one of Kathy's presents for Uncle Kenneth. It's from Africa. Gee, it's going to be exciting having Uncle Kenneth here for Christmas. Can we all go to the airport with Kathy to meet him?
Of course.
Hey, where is Kathy?
In her room, wrapping more presents for her father.
Christmas Eve will be here tomorrow. Monday the banks will let me borrow.
Will you please help me out of this? Certainly, brother dear. Thank you, sister dear.
Brother dear and sister dear. Those are the first civilized words they've exchanged since last Christmas.
Would you see if there's another string of lights in the basement, Ross?
Certainly, mother dear. Wouldn't it be great if we had Christmas every day?
I'd be bankrupt by February 1st.
Here are some more presents to go into the tree, Aunt Natalie. Oh, those?
You must have spent next year's allowance on gifts for your father.
I may have to float alone. I simply can't believe Father will be here tomorrow. It's been almost a year since I've seen him. In just 7 hours and 10 minutes, he'll be boarding a plane in Brussels.
Oh, I'll get that. You keep trimming. Well, good evening, J.R.
I've been trying to get you on the phone for the last hour.
Well, I guess Patty must have been using it. Is anything wrong?
There's a revolution going on in Kurdistan.
Yeah, I know.
What you don't know is that last night one of our foreign correspondents evaded their border guards and entered the country illegally. He's been arrested and is being held in a government prison.
One of our foreign correspondents?
Your brother Kenneth.
Kenneth? Kenneth Lane of Chronicle accused of espionage and inciting a revolution. Well, that's impossible. Kenneth is in Brussels covering that trade conference.
That's what he's supposed to be doing. He flew over to Kurdistan without telling anybody. The rebel general's an old buddy of his and smuggled him into the country.
Well, that's good.
Is it? We're in trouble with their foreign office, our State Department, and the head of a foreign government. They've had me on the carpet all morning.
I'm sorry about that, J.R., but we've got to do something about Kenneth.
Yes, I intend to. If your brother Kenneth ever gets out of jail, he's fired.
You're firing my brother?
No, you are. Merry Christmas.
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Kathy's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bouquets, different as night and day. Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette. Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
But Kenneth's got to be here. You've no idea how Kathy's been looking forward to spending Christmas with her father. She's been planning for this all year.
I know. Now we're going to have to tell her he's not coming.
You're right. You do it.
I think it would be better coming from you. You're a woman.
But Kenneth's your brother.
Well, he's your brother-in-law. Oh, Kath. Your Aunt Natalie wants to talk to you.
I was just going down to the basement to find another star. This one's bent.
Kathy,
Yes, Aunt Natalie?
your Uncle Martin would like to talk to you.
It's about Father, isn't it?
Well, yeah, as a matter of fact, yes, it is.
I've been thinking about it, too. He can only stay 1 week, and I've been trying to plan the most exciting things we can do before he goes back. It wouldn't be fair to just think about us. We should think of things that he would enjoy doing.
But if he couldn't get here for Christmas, we could always do all those things later, couldn't we? I mean, whenever he did get here.
Oh, he'll be here for Christmas. We've spent every Christmas of our lives together. Even when I was a little girl, after Mother died. Father would have to leave me to go to faraway places on assignments. Once I remember he was in Morocco. But no matter where he was at Christmas time, he always came back to me. On Christmas Eve, I would pull up a chair facing the front door and wait for him. And before midnight, that door would open and Father would walk in. He'll be here.
Kathy,
Yes, Aunt Natalie?
Why don't you go find that star?
Right.
You handled that beautifully.
I handled it beautifully. Why didn't you tell her?
I couldn't.
Well, neither could I. You stand some more good news?
Go on.
When Kenneth gets back, he's going to be fired.
Fired?
It's JR's orders. And guess who's going to have to do it to him? Scrooge.
Martin. Didn't you tell JR it's Christmas?
Sure. He does all his firing on Christmas.
This is the worst Christmas of my life.
Move over.
What are we going to do?
I'll tell you what we're not going to do. We're not going to spend Christmas Eve watching Kathy sitting in a chair in front of that door waiting for someone who's not coming.
Then we're back where we were. One of us has to tell her.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Alan Miller and the news.
No, we don't.
Oh, Martin, she has to be told.
Yeah, well, of course, but I haven't got the heart to do it, and neither do you.
Then who's going to do it?
Alan Miller.
Martin, we can't do that.
Good evening, ladies.
Excuse me, I have to check on my plum pudding.
Don't go, Kath.
Excuse me.
Did you want to talk to me?
Well, no, but I just thought maybe you'd like to watch the news with me.
The Coast Guard has ordered all small craft to take cover. Steamships are trying to move out of the path of the storm, and coastal towns are being boarded up in anticipation of the violent onslaught. Moving to news overseas. World leaders in the spirit of Christmas met today to talk of peace and to plan treaties to implement those talks.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Yes. I must go. My plum pudding is burning.
Yeah, but the news isn't over yet.
You tell me if I miss anything exciting.
You're going to find a white Christmas this year, for all of Europe is shivering in the grip of a severe cold wave.
Papa, do you have any thumbtacks?
Oh, yeah, somewhere there.
Out of revolution-torn Kurdistan comes word tonight that an American foreign correspondent, Kenneth Lane, is being held in prison on charges of espionage. The State Department denies the charge and has asked for his release.
Uncle Kenneth?
In Bermuda,
Uncle Kenneth.
Kenneth's match has ended in a...
Does Kathy know?
She left the room before Alan Miller got up enough nerve to tell her about it.
Gee, do you want me to tell her?
That's the coward's way out. No, I've got to do it myself. Maybe if I brought it up casually.
Sure, like, guess who's in prison? Or, the funniest thing happened to your father on his way here to spend Christmas with you.
All right, then the only way to do it is to be forthright and just get it over with. Kathy, your father was covering a revolution in Kurdistan, and they're holding him in prison over there.
I know. It says he's safe and unharmed.
That's right, Kathy. He is safe and unharmed. We have a lot to be thankful for. And the State Department will get him out in a week or two. So don't worry.
I'm not worried, Uncle Martin. Father has been in situations like this before. Then it's all right about Christmas? Of course. He'll get here. He always spends Christmas with me.
Well, there must be some way to get through. Try the embassy over there. Tell them it's a priority call. Oh, it's you.
I've heard of calling person to person, but this is ridiculous.
Well, I was trying to get through to our office in Rome. Eddie, look, you keep trying. Call me back when you have something. All right, thanks. I can't get any calls through to Kurdistan.
Maybe the country's closed for the weekend. Is it a big country?
Well, it's big enough to have a prison.
Why does your brother have to be such an adventurer?
Well, it takes after me. I mean, that's the way I'd be if I weren't married and didn't have a family.
I'm glad you've got us. It kept you out of prison.
Boy, I've been hearing some crazy rumors.
What sort of rumors?
About Uncle Kenneth. Is he in some kind of trouble or something?
Yeah, I'm afraid he is, Ross, but we're trying to get him out of it. Look, does Kathy seem very upset to you?
I don't know. She's kind of quiet. I mean, Kathy's always quiet. She's deep. You know what I mean?
We know what you mean.
Well, this may turn out to be a very rough Christmas for Kathy, so your mother and I would appreciate it if you'd go out of your way to make things easier for her.
Sure. I love Kathy. I wish she was my sister and Patty was my cousin.
No.
I know. It was just a wild dream. Okay, I'll do everything I can.
Thanks, son.
Why do bad things always have to happen to nice people? Why'd it have to be Kathy's father?
Kath, you've been sitting there for hours. Why don't you help me hang some mistletoe? There are going to be a lot of boys dropping in tomorrow. No, thank you, Patty. I want to see Father when he walks in. Kath, it's Christmas and your father's not here. It won't be Christmas for another hour. Father enjoys surprising me at the last minute. He's not even in the country. Then he's on his way. He's not on his way. Kathy, please don't do this to yourself. He's in a prison 7,000 miles away. There aren't even any planes flying out of there. I remember one Christmas, when I was 10. Father was in Tibet. I was in London with a governess. I wouldn't go to bed. I got a chair, sat in front of the door. And at 5 minutes of 12, the door opened, and he walked in. He smelled a bit like a yak, and he could only stay an hour. But he was there. He'll be here. You'll see. Kathy, don't look for miracles. Isn't that what Christmas is all about? A miracle.
No word at all?
Mom, what's going to happen to her if he doesn't show up?
I don't know.
I see. What about the fighting? They have. Well, listen, I'll be at home. Now, you call me here if you find out anything. Fine, thank you. It's our Rome office. There's no further news about Kenneth.
Dado, Kathy said one Christmas her father came to see her for just an hour.
So?
What if Uncle Kenneth came tonight for just an hour?
What do you mean?
You and Uncle Kenneth are identical twins.
Your Uncle Kenneth has a mustache.
You could put on a mustache.
And what good would that do?
If Kathy's father walked in that door before midnight, even if it were just for a few minutes, even if he explained that he had to leave again, don't you see? She'd have a miracle.
Oh, Patty, don't be ridiculous.
You said yourself you and Uncle Kenneth were always fooling people.
Well, we were a lot younger then. We could get away with murder. I remember there was a girl in our biology class, Harriet Olson. She hated me for some reason, but she was crazy about Ken. One night he had a date with her, and he couldn't keep it. So I kept it for him. She didn't even know the difference. We had a wonderful time. Next day, she hated me again.
This might work, Martin?
Well, this is different. I mean, I could never convince Kathy that I'm her own father.
Not even for an hour? You could tell her that you have to take the next plane back to Kurdistan, and before she knows what's hit her, you've gone.
Well, who got me out of jail and flew me over here? Friendly Martians?
You could tell her that the rebel general was a friend of yours and let you escape.
And an old Air Force buddy gave you a lift to New York.
Well, you mean like this? You see, Kathy, this old Air Force buddy of... no, wait a minute now. You see, Kathy, this
He calls her Kit Kat.
Oh, yeah. You see, Kit Kat, this old Air Force buddy of mine flew me over here after I broke out of jail. Oh, boy. Kathy is too bright a girl to believe that. Now, it's out of the question.
Oh, you couldn't do it for a long period of time, but for an hour? She wants to believe so much, she wouldn't even question it.
Well, where am I supposed to be all this time?
Down at the newspaper office.
Will you try it?
No,
Oh, Martin, it'll break her heart if he doesn't come through that door before 12 o'clock.
What do you say?
Oh, I say... Where the devil am I going to find a mustache at 11:30 on Christmas Eve?
It's 12:15.
Maybe Daddy couldn't find a mustache. That's him. He made it. I hope it works.
It has to.
Father's here.
Is this the Lane residence?
Oh.
Merry Christmas, Kit Kat.
Hi, Uncle Kenneth. We knew you'd make it.
Hey, Patty. You've grown into a real beauty.
Hello, Kenneth. Welcome.
Hi, Nat. You look marvelous.
So do you. Well, come on in.
We were so afraid you wouldn't get away.
Yeah, well, I was a little worried about it myself, but I had a bit of the lane luck, and here I am.
I'll bet the rebel general turned out to be a pal of yours and helped you escape.
Yeah.
And an old Air Force buddy gave you a lift to New York?
No.
No?
I was an old Navy buddy, Admiral Thompson. He got me a ride here in a Navy jet.
An admiral helped you?
Yeah.
I knew nothing could keep you away.
You know what really got me out of that prison, Kit Kat? The thought of you sitting here waiting for me.
You must be starved. I've made some sandwiches.
And after you eat, we'll open our presents.
And then we'll drink a toast.
And then I'll show you Kathy's in my room.
And then I guess it'll be time for you to leave.
Who's leaving? I just got here. Natalie, you feeling all right?
Yes. Are you?
I'm fine, I think. Where's Martin?
He had to go to the office.
On Christmas Eve? That's what he gets for being a managing editor. Well, why don't we phone him there?
No! No.
Why not?
He's probably not there yet. He had to make a lot of stops on the way.
Oh. Well, say, that's a very nice tree you have there. I could see your handiwork in that, Kit Kat.
We all worked on it.
Where's Ross?
He wanted to wait up for you, but he finally fell asleep.
Why don't we try to wake him?
I wouldn't do that. He's...
I think he's my nephew. I'd like to see him. Come on, Kat. Ross! Ross! Hey, Ross! Merry Christmas, old buddy. Come on down.
Uncle Kenneth!
How's my nephew?
Gee, you look just like my dad. Ouch! What is that? Nothing.
Oh, that reminds me. I'll go get the sandwiches.
Don't bother. I had a bite on the plane.
You should put something in your mouth. I mean, you should eat something.
Well, there's no hurry. Let me look around. It's a nice place.
I can't believe you're really here. I was so worried when I heard you were in prison. Was it very bad?
Oh, I'm sure he doesn't want to talk about it.
It was a ball. Guards and I played chess all the time. They were all old friends. Some of them were old friends?
Patty, why don't you take your Uncle Kenneth up and show him Kathy's in your room?
I'll be right back, Kit Kat.
Doesn't Father look wonderful?
Well, he may seem a little changed. I mean, an experience like he's just gone through could do that.
He seems exactly the same.
He does? Well, I'm glad.
It's a nice room, Patty.
Well, you're really doing great. I'm proud of you.
Well, thank you. I'm proud of you, too.
Where'd you get that tie? Never mind. Listen, you really threw us a curve with that Admiral bit.
Admiral Thompson?
Yeah. Maybe better cool it a little. Kathy's pretty smart. The only way this is going to work is if we play in and out Finnegan.
In and out Finnegan.
That's it. The trick is to keep moving. Now, we'll give it a couple of more minutes, and then we'll go down and open the presents. Okay?
Merry Christmas, Kit Kat. I'm here. Are you surprised to see me, Kit Kat?
I did.
I'm going back to bed.
Say, it's great to see you, nephew.
Gee, you look just like Uncle Kenneth.
Natalie, gee, you look great. Why, you haven't changed a bit.
Neither of you. Did you have a nice trip?
Well, I want to tell you, it was pretty exciting.
How did you get here?
Oh, well, luckily, the rebel general was an old chum of mine, it turned out.
That was lucky.
Yeah, Danny, he smuggled me out of prison, shooting going on all around.
Imagine that.
Yeah, and then I ran into an old buddy of mine from the Air Force, and he had me flown over here.
Not a Navy admiral?
No. Air Force.
Oh, that's close enough.
How long can you stay, Uncle Kenneth?
Oh, well, I'm sorry, Ross. I have some bad news for you there.
You have to fly right back.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, they're holding a plane for me at the airport right now.
But you just got here.
Yeah, I know.
You just came to keep your promise to be with me at Christmas.
That's right, Kit Kat. I'll be able to come back to you in a few weeks.
I think I'm going to cry.
Well, there's no reason to cry. I want you to be happy.
I am. That's why I'm crying. I love you.
So do I. You're quite a fella.
Oh, thanks, Natalie. Say, by the way, where's Martin?
Boy, that's a good question.
I believe he had to go to the newspaper office.
On Christmas Eve? That's what he gets for being managing editor.
Did you bring me something edible?
What?
Something edible from Turkey.
Oh, no, I haven't had a chance to do any shopping. Yeah, what with the revolution being in jail. But as soon as I get back over there, I'll send you something.
You're one of the two nicest Christmas presents I've ever had.
Oh, thanks, Kit Kat. What was the other one?
You see.
Well, listen, why don't we all have some sandwiches, and then we can open the Christmas presents, and, gee, then I'm afraid I'm going to have to rush, because they're holding a plane. Why don't you tell them General Mazim is an old buddy of yours? Well, no, I'm afraid that... that's me.
Oh, Uncle Kenneth. Welcome.
I don't feel well.
All you need is a scorecard, Ross. Hello, Martin. You look terrible in that mustache. Hello, Ken. You made it. Twice, from the looks of things. How in the world did you get here? Well, let's not go into that again. What did you think you were doing? Oh, nothing.
He was playing Santa Claus. Kathy, I think we are the two greatest fathers in the whole wide world. So do I.
Do you mean to tell me that you knew Kenneth was here all the time and you stood there and let me
You were magnificent.
I think this is the happiest Christmas of my whole life. I hope it's not another one.
J.R.
Martin, if you are masquerading as Santa Claus, you have no talent for it. It calls for a long white beard and a red suit.
Well, I know.
Then why are you hiding behind that scraggly bush?
I'm not hiding.
He was pretending to be my father.
Nonsense. There isn't the faintest resemblance. Couldn't fool a goat.
Well, you'd be surprised at what we used to get away with, Johnny.
Kenneth, I heard you had come back. I didn't believe it.
Well, you know I lead a charmed life.
I couldn't believe you had nerve enough to face me. I came here to find out for myself.
Didn't you get my cable?
If you mean the one from Brussels, no.
Brussels?
Where you were assigned to cover the trade conference.
Let's discuss this later, J.R.
You mean to say you haven't told them yet?
Told me what?
JR, in 60 seconds, it's going to be Christmas.
I'm not responsible for that. Martin has something to tell you.
You're going to give Father a bonus. I don't think so.
Tell him, Martin.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ken, but you're fired. Fired?
You can't fire him. It's Christmas.
So it is. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Did you hear that? That's terrible. Imagine firing someone on Christmas. He wouldn't do that. Or would he? Is J.R. Castle going to turn out to be the rat of the Western world? Tune in next week and we'll all find out. Bye. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty Caddy's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can